That's a very clever kick. I'm not sure they were even aware it was coming in that direction. Berry plays on and pitches a goal out of nowhere. Get rid of it. Noble gives it straight back to Morris. Another goal for the Lions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bursts through. Dishes it out. Off the left is really good in the end by Jimmy Tunstall. Quite hit Neil. The umpires say no to the high tackle. Draper started it. He check sides. The big fella will enjoy this. Look at him go. Ashcroft rolls one off the ground. Here he is again, Morris. Tight the pocket. There's nothing Logan can't do. Got 4.5. Steaming out. Falling over, but it won't matter. McKenna will roll in. It's another one for Brisbane. And now they're starting to really stretch the Gold Coast Suns out by 5. He's on. Man ahead of the footy. Charlie should finish the game. Steps with a bit of sizzle. Brisbane continue their domination of the Q Clash on the back of that man. A career high 7 goals.
We are back. The Brisbane Lions fan cast off a little hiatus where both of us were unwell in different ways, but Patrick is back for another week for the Brisbane Lions fan cast as we have a look at Q Clash 30 or 31, depending on who you want to believe there, but 30. It is all thanks to Hop On Brewery Tours. It is all thanks to EB by Hiker, and it is all thanks to Crisp Marketing. And a big shout out to everyone that has gotten involved, whether you've followed, liked, subscribed, given us a review, or head along to our website, brisbanelionsfancast.com, bought a shirt, or put some money in our little tip jar, which is very much appreciated. And a big shout out to Tim and Chris, who have done that across the week. Thank you very much, guys. Very, very appreciated. We are back on the winners list, Patrick. After 3 pretty dour weeks, we are back on the winners list against the Suns in a pretty good performance. And I am so happy to say, you know, apart from getting a win back in the books, you know what I'm most excited about? Is that next week when the teams are announced, it should read, no changes. And that makes me very, very happy.
You're not buying into the one change Hipwood?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't care if anyone's ready. I don't care because we've got Richmond down in Tasmania and then we've got the bye. So just the team performed well. They performed well as a team. I thought the ins were good. No changes, please, once. I would love it. Now, I understand that.
I'm going to advocate for the Hipwood change. Because, and my basis is this. Now, every time someone comes back from a long injury, they're like, yep, they come back, and then they get rested the next week. What have we got? The bye. Put him in, bye, he's good. So that way you're not wasting a week against Geelong or something.
Yeah, look, I see the merit in that. I would just love it, no changes.
You're just going based on pure semantics of wanting that label of no changes.
Because it's been 2 to 3 every week. It's just been a nightmare, man.
But this would be on our terms.
Yeah.
Like you're wanting it to be no changes for the sake of it saying no changes. I'm saying we've got our chance to make our own decisions. Autonomy within the club, which is I don't know if that says a lot about me or you or both of us, but it is interesting. So we won a game of football.
And that's, you know what, let's have a chat about that now. We were missing last week, obviously. Freo, another tough loss. Another third quarter, we got blown out. The last quarter was pretty good. We picked it back to a reasonable margin. And across the last couple of weeks, you know, Freo obviously has smoked North Melbourne by 120-odd points. GWS is looking pretty good as well. So, you know, maybe those losses in retrospect aren't as bad as they seemed. Maybe they are.
I mean, they were pretty bad.
They were pretty bad. The transition defense, which we're going to talk a little bit about today, has obviously been a problem. But from all accounts, we looked on. We looked hungry. The intent was there. The tackling pressure was there. The team cohesion seemed to be there across the weekend down at People's First Stadium. So good to get back on the win. We forecast 4 weeks ago what the 4 weeks looked like. We had Geelong, Freo, Giants, and the Suns, and we said, look, that's a tough couple of weeks. That's a tough 4 week period. We've come away 1-3, which is not ideal. And And, after Richmond, we've got the bye and then 2 big tests with Sydney and Geelong as well. Geelong away at that. So another couple of tough weeks ahead. So, hopefully we can take some confidence out of this week and, fingers crossed, hopefully next week too.
Yeah, I mean, I was big advocate of, I'm really looking forward to this next month of football. Where, it was horrible. It was horrible until yesterday was much better. But it wasn't fun watching. And it, because when things go poorly, they go pretty poorly, We're not the sort of team that plays well while we lose, I think. Yeah, is a bit of an oddity. I can't really think of any times when I've been like, we lost, but we played really well. What a great game. It's always been we lost and that was painful or annoying. Annoying is a big one. But altogether, it was not a bad way to end. I did a bit of forecasting in the back half of the year, which the team and Chris Fagan will not do, but I will do it. And I can tell you this, that Gold Coast game, extremely important, very crucial to our potentials of the back half of the season. So we might talk about that later if either or neither of us remember it. So, but yes, good to be back this week. Worth noting to the listeners, not that they care about the back end stuff, but we sort of have like a small, I'd say maybe like a 36-hour window that we can record in, and it just, couldn't happen. So, but good to see you absolutely picking up all of the slack.
I was sick. You were sick. It just didn't eventuate. Life gets in the way. Quick rundown of the votes from last week. Thanks to Hop On Brewery Tours. Wilmot, Berry, and Bailey get the votes from last week against Freo.
I think I'll go Wilmot, Bailey, and Charlie Cameron. I think
Charlie Cameron. Okay.
Yeah.
In an otherwise pretty unforgettable game.
Tell you what, Wilmot's almost won the BNF on this month of work.
Yeah, when not many people have put their foot forward, Wilmot has been a shining light. Let's do an overarching look at the changes that have occurred to the team over the last couple of weeks, because God, when we get injuries, then not just your standard 2-3 week hamstrings. It's Kitty Coleman's out for 6, Zorko out again for 6 with this quad that's popped out, and then Hugh McCluggage at a late Thursday training accident with a 4 to 5 weeker as well. So add that to the growing list of injuries, and then you can add in Duday, injured again, and Will McLaughlin after bagging 7 in the VFL. You think, okay, he's right for a call-up again. He's out for 6-7 weeks with the quad as well. So, God, when it rains, it pours, and that injury list is just getting longer and longer and longer. As you said, Hipwood is nearing a return, and Link McCarthy
I think it's not too far.
Is not too far away at all. But good to have Noah Answorth back in the system, and good to have Jared Berry. Like Jared Berry specifically, you really notice the difference he makes. Hey.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. You can argue with people about injury lists, and oftentimes when you argue about it, you're often arguing with Essendon and Richmond people, and it's like, yeah, but your players are shit anyway. So you might be 18th on the table. You're still going to be 18th with all those players. Like, I had a look at the Richmond injury list. There's only one guy that might get into our team, Lawler, and even then, I don't know who I'm putting him in ahead of. Definitely not Tunstall. Yeah. And you look at it and go, well, every single one of ours, including Tom Duday, would make it into the Richmond team. So, yes, finishing 18th minus 8 is still 18th. Figure that one out. Whereas, we're 8 places behind where we probably could be had not this happened. But alas, yes, our injuries are not great. Not filling us with a great deal of hope.
And it obviously plays a part in our form, but I don't think it accounts for all of, it's certainly not responsible for the way we've put ourselves out in the park, the defensive intent. The midfield and, the lack of effort that was there for a couple of games certainly doesn't make up for that. And it doesn't make up for the fact that even though there is still talent on the park, like I had a look at the team that was out on paper ahead of the Suns game, there's still so much talent there, but when you've got guys like McCluggage, Ashcroft, Dunkley, Fletcher, they're all down on form. Rayner, Bailey is like you don't know whether he's going to have a good game or not. All those names look good on paper still, but when they're all down on form, plus the injuries, it really makes for a horrible recipe. But I thought the guys that came in, Tunstall was really good. Shadow Brain, like, finally he gets a go after 2 years out of the system, basically. He finally gets a game. I thought he was so good.
He was, but did you see him on the Raul goal in the second quarter? He just falls asleep. So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, the positive definitely outweighs the negative, but he just let Raul run past him to score a goal. And it's like, come on, man. Like, but to just go back to what you were saying, like, of the team injuries not kind of being a factor in the defensive effort, I would kind of agree and disagree now, and bear with me here, but it's like the sort of thing where and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but like, if you're a team where, let's say, ordinarily, if everyone's kicking really well and our skills are on point, the midfield are having to make, I'm going to use an arbitrary number, 30 defensive efforts, like high-intensity defensive efforts to get the ball back. If you start taking kickers and good disposal out of the team, that 30 can go up to a 40. And then you're diminishing the amount that you can do, or you're increasing the effort or the load. And maybe that's the sort of thing that's led to some of these injuries as well, where you've gone like, we're creating more situations where we're having to pressure the ball. And that's kind of the sports science, magumbo that I don't fully know, that it's purely theorized. But I think you're right. But I think that could also be a thing where you're asking for more effort and they're only really scaled to have a certain amount. Maybe I'm onto something. I don't know. Any boffin can tell me about that. I don't know.
Now, coming into this game, our deficiencies, and like the numbers are out there, like we're ranked basically bottom 2 in the competition for, defensive transition D50 to inside 50, and a bunch of, statistics around there. The way that we play, and it's pretty reflective of the Suns as well. They're pretty deficient in those areas too. And their midfield, for all the amazing names that they've got in there, just like us, really haven't been performing. And I don't think they've won a tackle count this year as well. Not so much the case for us, but our deficiencies and the Suns' deficiencies are pretty similar, which I think is what led to the style of game that we saw on the weekend. There was a lot of... And Fags addressed it. It's like, it wasn't our game at all. There wasn't that, chip mark stuff. It was sort of a little bit more free-flowing, and that's the way the game is going, as we know. And I just wonder if it's because of the two coaches, Damien Hardwick, Chris Fagan. They found a formula that clearly won flags, maybe a bit reluctant to shy away from it because they know it has worked in the past, whereas the rest of the competition have gone, okay, well, that's what they've done. How do we stop that and then evolve the game further? And it's that sort of forward handball game that we see at the moment. So I do wonder, and this is probably a bigger talking point that we don't have to get into right now, that those two coaches, Dimmer and Chris Fagan, are not necessarily evolving with the game as quickly as others because they haven't needed to, because they've found the success with their system. And, we've seen the teams that have come at us with that forward handball game, Sydney in round 1, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when we come up against them in a couple of weeks with another different team, I suppose, because we had so many outs that one. Geelong did it to us. Freo did it to us. It gets us. Whereas we've found a system that sort of works, and, why would you shy away from that? I just wonder if that's a factor in all of this.
Yeah, I suppose when you got coaches that are ahead and trend setting, that everyone's kind of trying to pick it up. But it is, the forward handball game is a weird one, because you wonder, would it work in finals? And that's kind of always was the thing that was thrown away with the uncontested mark stuff. Like, can you win finals with it? I'm going to be the bar humbug here and say, like, well, it hasn't. So,
well, I mean, look what happened in that 24 semi-final against the Giants. Is like, we're 44 points down, and then it's like we throw caution to the wind, and we did sort of try a forward handball game, and that's what arguably got us the win in the end, and a huge amount of luck too. So I don't know. It's yeah.
You really chopped off my cynical legs there, didn't you?
Like I said, it's a larger talking point, and it got me thinking over the weekend, because us and the Suns are pretty similar in the way that in our deficiencies, as I said, that I wonder if that has been a factor in this whole thing, because they've, coming into the season, us, Fremantle, which are, up there, and the Suns were like, oh, they've got the best list, can they do it? But maybe Freo's embraced that forward handball style a little bit more, and you saw what it did to North on the weekend, my goodness. Whereas haven't been as readily taking it up.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a style of game that also is kind of personnel-wise doesn't require you to have all of the pieces that are there, because you've seen, Young was missing it. He was back for Fremantle. You've had Sarong missing. So, that's two pretty important players. Whereas ours is very reliant, as we've talked about. So, yeah, it's a larger, pretty interesting topic. Admittedly, I've watched more Fremantle. I haven't watched a lot of Sydney this year, just because they kind of rub me the wrong way. I don't like them. But, which is weird, because, Fremantle have the pony running around, being an absolute twat all the time. So, I guess we'll wait and see. But I think, largely the ladder position, the top two is kind of locked out. But the funny thing about it is, you look at it, we're only a game and a half out of third.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, Geelong losing a couple on the trot as well sort of opens things up a little bit. The Bulldogs, where are they? Melbourne will be interesting to see what happens with them tomorrow. Adelaide are flaky. Dogs, Suns, flaky. Hawthorn,
flaky.
Where are they? Yeah. Yeah.
So the opportunity's there, and that's why I think, I love it how I said in the intro, I'm like, oh, remind us to talk about this. But I looked at it and I sort of said, look, if we can go on a run, and I thought after the bye, if we could get away with only losing one game, I thought we'd finish third on the ladder. Beating Gold Coast, that was assuming we would lose to Gold Coast. So we now have two potential drops, in my opinion. So if we can go on a run and only drop two games, tell you what, if we end up dropping to both Sydney and Geelong, it'll be playing heavy catch up. But it's still there. And my thoughts on teams that cruise the whole season. It just is not going to happen. I don't care who you are. Sydney and Fremantle, I don't think either of them are going to win the premiership.
It's hard to see anyone beating Freo at this point. They look pretty complete, if I'm perfectly honest. There's two people I really don't like in Freo. One is Patrick Voss and one is Justin Longmuir. And I don't like them for completely the opposite reasons. Is Justin Longmuir has no personality, and then Patrick Voss has too much. So it's like,
how
both
did Voss
of you
not get cited for absolutely destroying Gardner on the ground last week?
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, I've
forgot
decided
that
I quite
happened
like
until
Freo.
you reminded me about that guy. But yeah, Longmuir.
Yeah,
that's what I have to say about him. Really tall,
boring man. Yes, really tall, boring man.
Yes. But no, Fremantle are going to get hit by a train at some point. Don't know what it's going to be, but it'll be a train. They'll come unstuck and they'll go on a poor run. So
maybe at this point they are the train. At this point, but
yeah, but it'll be like this. You know how all of the state train lines are on different gauges of track. It'll be like that. They'll come onto the different one and derail, because it'll be it was actually 4.7 feet that they did in 1812, and it's oh, good idea, engineers.
All right, let's talk some footy. Q Clash 30, huge. Midfield was much better. The players that have been quiet were better. Fletcher had a good game. Not one of his better games, but better than it has been, certainly this year. Dunkley back to basically his best. Rayner had some good moments. Bailey had some good moments. Neil was huge. Morris, obviously huge. Wilmot again, huge. As I said, Brain was good. Bruce was good. Kyle Lohman, probably could have hoped for a bit more from him. Chucky was good. Yeah, it was a good team performance.
Yeah, it was. And kind of the most important for, ahead of the game was Dara Joyce coming in was the most important, made the most impact.
Yeah.
I was thinking during the week, I was sort of saying, like, any one of Leicester, Oscar Allen, Eric Hipwood, Jack Payne, like any one of them being back in the team completely changes the makeup. It allows someone to go forward because this is how good Logan Morris is. But do you know what happens when Logan Morris has two players playing on him?
Yeah, two
really
or
hard.
Three. Yeah.
And I don't mean, I'm not talking poor about Curtin, because it's like, Cody Curtin, you're like 12 years old. You'll be better. It's fine. But you need someone, whether it's only a second-year player who's got a bigger body, who's played in defence to know how to body players and to help out. But if it was Collins and Mac Andrew playing on Logan Morris, or them helping out, or not playing in a way that isolated them, like it would have been so much more difficult for him. And he just saw what the ability to have a competition ahead of the ball. There was a couple of contested marks from Gallup up the wing, which were really good. Just all of the things that really helped. And, I still think that Gallup's probably more valuable long-term down back, but for the time, like, you got to do what you need. Like, you need to do what you need to do at the moment. And I was so happy that Logan Morris was just like was able to use his like football brain to just outbrain all of the Suns players, because that's what he can do. So that was the most important and I wasn't expecting it. So I was happy to see it, and I was like, cool. Will it be Gardner or will it be Gallup? And I think after the last quarter against Fremantle, when they did swing Gallup forward, that might have just been the break glass situation. So it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Much
and
so.
The other, it was McCluggage out and Tunstall in, and it's pretty. Brain came in. So
yes.
But at the first centre-bouts to see Fletcher get 2 touches early coming off the back of the square I was kind of happy that happened, because it just, pick up the ball early and go with it. So what did we have for the first goal of the game, JB?
We had Jared Berry hit with a dart that maybe it was meant for him, maybe it wasn't, doesn't matter. But he took the mark and then just walked 5 meters with unopposed, no stress on him whatsoever, just snapped it through. And even the commentators say, oh, that's like a bit of a warm-up training drill goal, because he just took the mark and then realized, I can just sort of keep going here. Didn't even hit much of a stride, and through it went.
This is kind of what we needed, I think. Yeah. I think he's just like, screw this. We're not losing to the Suns. Like, we're not going to do this. And, Lachie Neale set the tone pretty early. He had 1 million disposals in the first quarter. And, we hit him for 4 pretty early on. I must admit, though, in that first quarter at about the 10-minute mark, or, halfway through, they got a little bit of run off half-back and, chained a few, and I was sitting there going, oh, my God. Oh, no.
Yeah.
But then, you sort of look at it and go, well, their first 5 goals, I want to say, were like really low percentage shots.
Honestly, like, Ben King, go away. Like 2 goals.
His stupid sideburns, man. Like, he looks like Starburns from Community.
Yes, he does. But yeah, 2 goals basically on the 50, on the boundary from either side. And then he gets one, 45 metres in, almost directly in front, and he misses that one. You're like, are you serious, bro? Like, come on.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with it. And, Mac Andrew just roosting it from 55 metres. And, Yeah, it was a frustrating situation because you're sitting there going like they were kept far more in the game than they had any kind of right to be. You know, at the same time they had opportunities that they kind of butchered in certain other ways. But you're going, okay, I think at one point in time it was, you know, within a kick or within two kicks or something, and you're going, oh. But their 5 goals have all been bullshit. So
I know, and that was my big worry. And as I was talking to a couple of my mates that are Suns fans that were at the game, I said, this is a big worry because we are playing so much better football, but, you know, you're still only a kick away, and our third quarters have been so dire the last couple of weeks that this can switch so quickly. And that was my big worry that, right, we're going to get done here in this third quarter because we've left the door ajar with our poor set shots and their amazing, ridiculous set shots.
Well, also because we were finding in the game when they were scoring goals, we were more often than not replying. But them scoring goals at the end of quarters didn't give us a right of reply. Mark Howard had one of the all-timers in the third quarter after the Suns had kicked a goal. Well, you know, 7 minutes later, and they kicked another one. He said Gold Coast with the quick reply, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you actually talking about? Replied to what? Fly him up. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Old Lynchy's on the ground there as well.
Yeah.
No injuries to talk about, which is, you know, an absolute godsend there. So that's you know, very happy about that one as well. But the work in the middle is probably, you know, Ashcroft was good without being, you know, as good as we know he can be. I thought he would lift it a little bit. Levi good as well. As I said, though, the big difference, Berry, come back into that team. Just, yeah, crazy stuff.
In the third quarter, I was third quarter or second quarter? It might have been the second quarter. Second quarter, I realised something that might be my new favourite thing. One of my new favourite things. A James Tunstile goal.
Oh, yes. On the left too, no mind.
It hit differently. Like it just felt visceral. Like a Jared Berry goal. But Jared Berry's goal was so like laconic that it was just a bit different. And this one was just like, we needed it at that point in time. We really fucking needed that goal right then. And it was a really good passage of play. And then it kind of, you know, drape a goal soon after. It was the rucks were an interesting situation in that game because Jared Witts did very little. Now, why?
He has had, I'm not going to say he's had a poor year, but he has been overtaken as the number one ruckman from Ned Moyle. He has been a big sufferer of the ruck rule changes. Because
you did call this in the preseason.
Yeah, I thought him and Briggs is actually adapted from GWS. He's adapted much better than I thought he would. It's why Sean Darcy's not getting a game as well over at Freo. But yeah, Witts has suffered probably the most out of any ruckman at this stage. And you see he got done for 2 crossing the lines. My mate JD said to me, you watch, like, he gets done every week at least once or twice for, you know, going over the centre point as well. So
do you know who Ned Moyle reminds me of? Have a guess. He's a ruckman. He's not like a fictional person, not like Gandalf or something, but
it's got a bit Tom Hickey about him, but I don't know.
A young Big O.
Sure. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, next time you watch him, have a bit, because I was just like, this guy he stomps around, like he stomps like he's on stilts, and he has a weird head, and I like him a lot. I think he's a good player.
Took some good marks in that sort of on the forward 50, some big clunks that really bailed them out from time to time in the game as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he was, because I haven't watched a lot of Moyle play. Like he played a bit last year, and I think it was kind of around about the traps, but. Yes, Witsy's struggling. Also, their midfield struggling. Their midfield couldn't really get onto the ball at all. Lachie Neale was taking the P155 at times with a knee slide over the head handball, which was very good. You remember that one?
I do, yes. And there was a bit of debate in the commentary box on Fox of like whether he meant it. Is he just, hitting and hoping? But then the slow-mo replay, you see him.
It's like his ear pricks up like a cat. Yeah. 100%. Otherwise, he's just doing the logical conclusion of a forward half handball game.
Yeah.
So maybe he's taking matters into his own hands. But it was a pretty good third quarter. We kicked away a little bit. They came back into it in the last quarter, and we kind of... You got a little bit nervous, but then...
Yeah, of course.
But then it kind of petered out a little bit, and weird to see Logan Morris couldn't get on the field for the last 10 minutes. But, or for 10 minutes in the last quarter, I should say. But yeah, when you got guys like Ford kicking goals and McKenna and Gallup chipping away, it was a good team performance, and I think everyone contributed in a pretty tangible way. Even the guys where you sit there and go, well, you hardly heard Joyce be named. You hardly heard... you hardly saw Gardner. But I think if that's the case, it's generally a good game.
Yeah, big time.
Harris Andrews' mark in the first quarter was unbelievable too.
Yeah, it was. And the only way that Ben King got him was just sort of those lateral leads moving towards the boundary line. And, I mean... That's
where you want him to kick the goals from.
Yeah, and, if you're a Suns fan, it's like, well, thank God he can kick them from there. It just kicks them dead straight. But, if he gets involved in wrestle, then Harris Andrews is certainly going to win that one 10 times out of 10. So, yeah, a good game. A good game from basically everyone, and which is a big part of why I started the show with no changes. Like, good team performance. The people that came in from the twos, they played really well. Like, Brain was really good. His ball use, he balked players a couple of times as well. Yeah.
I think the most impressive thing was him convincing Bailey Humphrey to break his own ribs on himself against him.
Jeez, wasn't that something?
Yeah. Oh, man. I liked it. I'm sure Bailey Humphrey will have 3 broken ribs, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. Anyone who's listened since our first season, I thought broken ribs. And man, I carried on about it for like 6 weeks. And I think if you remember, Stephen May might have broken ribs and had 1 week off and then came back. And I was so mad about that because I was sitting there like this going like, oh, like I can't breathe, and like some sort of pathetic little geezer. But yes, it was a good game, and I'm glad they won. Did you tip the Gold Coast?
I did, yeah.
Good. I didn't, obviously. But also, I almost forgot to do my tips last week because you're my reminder to do it. So,
well, we will get to that soon. But
maybe I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, my tips are absolutely cooked this week. Absolutely. Before we do tipping, we're going to do some votes thanks to hoponbrewerytours.com.au for this week.
Check out the best breweries across Brisbane and the Gold Coast with Hop On Brewery Tours. Book a half or full day tour at hoponbrewerytours.com.au.
I thought there was 3 pretty clear standout players with one not too far behind. I have a feeling you may see this differently though.
Who was your one not far behind?
Dunkley was my one that was on the outer.
Yeah, he's getting my 1 vote.
Okay.
So do you want me to do my other votes?
Yeah, you might as well.
So I gave Dunkley 1, Logan Morris 2, and Darcy Wilmot 3.
Right.
Neil's had enough MVPs for a lifetime. Like, it should almost be like a Neil-less vote.
Yeah, I understand that.
But you're going to give Neil 3 votes, aren't you?
No, I'm giving him 2. Morris the 3 for mine, and then Wilmot the 1.
If Dunkley had not hit the post twice and had scored 2 goals, he would have gotten 3.
Yeah, fair enough. At least he got it on his shoe this week.
That's what I said.
So yeah, okay. Well, Neil missing out on a vote from you is
not unheard of.
But it's not unheard of. But yeah, sure.
I'm sure I gave him 3 votes against GWS 3 years ago or whatever when he got 12 disposals.
Well, if you want to do a quick update here, Darcy Wilmot is, I would imagine, he is leading our votes so far this year. He's on 24 votes ahead of Charlie Cameron on 22. Lockie Neal's
I reckon
on
Wilmot
16.
will have picked up 18 votes in the past 6 weeks, I reckon.
Yeah, he's picked up a lot. Yes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18 since the Cats game.
Since the Cats game?
Since the Cats game.
Well, he's basically been playing by himself, so... And I think in the Cats game, you gave him 3 and I gave him none as well. So
that's right.
Man, I wish my
There's your cat. Speaking of Cats games, he's your cat's playing games in the background there.
What the hell was even that? So just an update on anyone. I don't know what that was. Apparently we have a ghost. Because
sure.
Cat's in there, but in the bedroom on the bed. Not a clue. Ghost.
Right, well, vote's done. Changes, mine, 0. Now, looking at the injury list, it says Eric Hipwood and Lincoln McCarthy were 1 week, so technically they might be available, although I can't remember if it was the post-game or the Thursday press conference with Fags said there was no one really coming back in, so maybe not.
He said that in the post-game that it wasn't looking like anyone was coming back, but I think he was talking about the ones that had just gone out. But
yeah. I'm still of the opinion just give him an extra week. It's Richmond. If we can't beat them with the team we put out there, like what are you doing anyway? And then we've got the bye, so just give everyone the chance to just be as fit as possible.
Look, you're probably right. But if I see in E. Hipwood out D. Joyce, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay. I'm probably okay with it too. For the reasons you pointed out before as well, like get this game under the belt against Richmond, get some footy in ya, and then have a rest for a week as well. So we'll see. We will see. The annoying thing is because we play on the Sunday, we'll get that extended squad on Thursday anyway, and then we won't get the real team until Friday, which, God, that shits me, that whole situation. Yeah,
it's not ideal, is it? It's a blight on the game, as it were. So, yes, good game. Was there anyone that we didn't talk about that we should have talked about? Bruce was really good early on.
Bruce was good, yeah. He's been really good this year. He's been really good and probably really stiff to be missing out on the votes.
He's probably been like the 4th best player most games.
Yeah. He's just been consistent.
Yeah.
The twos done again in a weird one with their Q clash as well. So absolutely blown out by the Suns really early. We're down by 53 points at 3/4 time. And then kicked 6 goals to none in the last quarter and went down by just over 15 points. So closer than it should have been. Cooper Hodge actually played for us this week, so that's some good experience for him. Cody Curtin was good, kicked a couple of goals. The usual suspects. Beacon was good. Luke Lloyd had some moments. Zach Kostelski was alright. Marshall was alright. But yeah, they're just getting smacked basically each and every week, and they're coming up against Werribee this week, who are 3rd on the ladder while we sit in position 22. So I feel like that is going to be somewhat of a bloodbath, if I'm honest.
Are they playing down here or are they playing up?
They are not. They're playing at Avalon Airport Fields or something like that. Avalon
Airport Fields?
Yeah.
Might have to check that out.
You might as well.
Sorry. That sounded funnier in my head, and yep.
So yeah, not much to talk about with the twos this year, if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah, good to see Cooper Hodge out there is, I guess, the shining light, the highlight.
You say through gritted teeth, being like, he should be playing for Hawthorn.
He should be playing for Hawthorn.
Yeah, but They're full of kind of knobs.
They've chilled out a little bit this year, the Hawks.
I don't know. Did you watch that game against the Dags? There was not a lot of chill going on there.
Yeah, no, it was decidedly unchill, but compared to what they have been.
I got to say, like, you know, the Wizard giving that interview at halftime, being like, oh, you know, you can talk the talk as long as you want. I don't mind that. And the fact that he got then blanketed for the second half was really poetic justice.
Yeah, he got
not the first
on.
time he casts bloody a disillusionment charm or whatever on himself to go invisible. Yeah.
Well, let's. You said you didn't want to do this, but we're going to do it. Thanks to EB by Hiker. We're going to have a look at the tips here.
EB by Hiker is your home for away games. Live footy on the big screen, good beers, good food, good vibes. 65 Manila Street, East Brisbane.
ebbyhiker.com.au for your game day packages. Use the code word LionsFancast26 and, of course, giving you the chance to win a grand final day watch party package worth $790. EB by Hiker, fantastic stuff. And I actually got some of their Explorer beers across the week. Very yummy. My tips, I got so far with 2 games to play. Carlton and Essendon, which is kicking off very shortly, and of course the King's birthday game tomorrow. I'm sitting on 2.
Yeah, look, I'm not much better. Yeah, look, it's not, and also I've given away my leading of the margin man.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I tipped Geelong by like 35 points because I thought they would take Adelaide to the cleaners, to which they didn't. Last week I was feeling pretty good about myself when I tipped Hawthorn by 42 points. And you're like, oh, you know, St Kilda never give away a high. And I'm sitting there watching the score go up and going, yep, cool, thrown it all away. My tips have gone very heftily in the bin in the past 2 weeks, I want to say, where I think I've dropped from the top 15 to the 30s, 40s.
Wow.
Yeah. It's all I had left in my life.
All right, well, let's have a look to next week.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah.
Hold on, how do I... The comps, okay. Let me find out where I am. Oh, I'm still 21st.
That's pretty good.
But I think I must have... Man, yeah, there's a lot of 2s in here. So I guess everyone's kind of just doing shitly like I am. Yeah. Well,
all right. Thursday night, Dogs, Crows at Marvel. That's going to be a fun game.
Doggies.
Yeah.
I will say the round just gone. I did have my tip Port Adelaide. And then when I saw Starcevich was playing, I had to swap it to West Coast because I just wanted to go for the big bald bastard.
Yeah, fair shout.
There's a live thing in the Discord where I'm like, just so everyone knows, I'm tipping West Coast, but I think Port will win. So
I just tipped West Coast because I thought West Coast would win because I thought they were on not necessarily a bit of a heater, but they were playing decent footy.
So this is where,
up to the Dogs by a goal.
Yeah, see, I've tipped the Dogs by 37 points.
Jeez, righto. Adelaide were pretty good.
They really kind of weren't, though. Like, they were okay, but they also sort of weren't. Didn't Geelong have, like, 8 more scoring shots or something?
Well, I'm tipping Geelong to beat the Suns at GMHBA. Oh, yeah. Melbourne to beat Essendon. North West Coast at Optus.
At Optus.
West Coast won this last one, I think. When they played.
Yeah, West Coast won at Marvel. So are we going to go like all's well with the universe and give it to North Melbourne? They're going to get an absolute rocket this week.
They are, aren't they? Nah, West Coast. But it's a North home game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the thing, okay, because they played Fremantle at like Hinterlands, WA. Could they not have played anyone else? Like, why did it have to be a WA team? We have to go to fucking Tasmania.
Yeah.
Like, we're not playing that at Toowoomba. If we were playing that at Toowoomba, it'd be like, oh, cool, we're playing Richmond in Toowoomba. It'd be good for the Toowoomba people other than the Garden Festival. Like, they don't have much else going on. Fight me. So, yeah, but instead we have to go to Tasmania and Fremantle get to go to Bunbury or whatever the hell it's called.
Hands Oval. Sydney Brisbane Giants to finish off my tips, by the way.
Yeah, St Kilda can go in the bin after that display against Sydney.
Almost
absolutely peanutted that one. No, they didn't almost pinch it. They got it pinched from them. They had it in both hands, and Sydney wrestled it out. It's the opposite of a pinching.
Yeah, true. I guess it's just pinching in the fact that they probably should never have been in that game.
I'll pinch you.
Okay. Sure. Do you want to do questions or a new game first?
We'll do questions just to calm me down a bit.
Crisp Marketing are your outsourced marketing managers. From social media and newsletters to design and websites, they handle it all, so you can stay focused on your business. crispcoms.co.
Questions thanks to Crisp Marketing, giving you free Brisbane Lions Fancast stickers. They're available at our website at brisbanelionsfancast.com.au. All right, here, the big question is this. Morris or Bailey, I guess.
Oh, right. Okay, so I just... I was like, this is a fun new game. Real-time list management.
No, I guess it's just like...
Morris, by a mile. We've been saying Morris for a long time.
I guess the question that Zig has put forward through is like, if we are in the same position next year that we are in with Morris that we are with Bailey now, where it's sort of like, yeah, we don't really want to pay you, we don't want to make you our best paid player, where others have taken less money to stick around for longer. We know you're getting money thrown at you. If we're getting the same situation next year where Tasmania are throwing the cash at Logan Morris, are we more likely to go, okay, we'll probably throw that money towards you than we are with Bailey? And yeah, the consensus, and obviously a lot of recency bias coming off 7 goals here, but I'm more prepared to throw that money at Logan Morris than I am at Zach Bailey.
Well, didn't Zach Bailey kick 7 in a Q Clash a few years ago?
6, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know that we were having the give him the keys to the castle chat after that in the same way that we kind of are. Like, Logan Morris is a pretty unique player. There's a very, very high ceiling. And I think it's a more consistent ceiling.
Yeah.
So whereas Bailey, obviously, you're dealing with it being a sine curve within games, you know? Like, he can be the best player in the comp, or he can really do not a lot. Which is really annoying because you know, yeah. There were periods in the game last week where you're sitting there going, I'm kind of cool with everyone having the ball except Rayner and Bailey at the moment, because they just kept turning the ball over, doing weird things. So I was very much in the camp of Morris is a unique player. I don't think it's the kind of thing where you pay... Is he the highest paid player at the club, or is he in the top 3? I'd be leaning towards top 3. You know, I would be trying to do it in a tier system. So you have like this is what the pay brackets are, and this is where players sit in them. I know that's probably a bit like bourgeoisie, you know. Bit red.
I understand that.
But I think it can work. And I think the 2 players that Ziggy listed, being Lester and Zorko, taking pay cuts, it's like, yes, they've been very important, but they probably were the 2 that could have made pay cuts. I think looking at the previous premiership teams was where probably the true pay cuts were there. But, I mean, I don't pretend to know a lot in a financial sense about the competition or the way the clubs are. I think the average pay is going to go up quite a bit. We've got a few players that are being paid unders. And I think also we were in a situation where I believe we front-loaded quite a few contracts, Lockie Neal's contract and some others in the kind of 2020, 2021 times. So, which left a little bit a war chest, if you will.
Well, Bailey, at this stage, and from all reports, he's more likely than unlikely to leave. So that's going to free up a bit of money. Lockie Neal, at this stage, looks like more likely than unlikely to leave as well, so there is some cash freed up.
Lockie Neal's a weird one. Like, I still can't make sense of anything to do with that situation. The wheres, the whys, the hows. To me, there's two options, and I mean, someone I think jokingly said like West Coast are closer to a flag than Collingwood are. I think Collingwood have gone further, and they're about to loop. And it's going to take longer, but yeah.
Adelaide makes sense for him. Adelaide makes more sense than Collingwood.
He hasn't lived in Adelaide for like 20 years.
No, his family's there. Adelaide's in a position to contend for a flag, and it's closer to WA. So those are the three factors, I suppose. But there's a lot of noise about Collingwood, but there's always a lot of noise about Collingwood. So it doesn't make much sense, that whole situation.
Bailey just wants to be paid, which is fine. You can't begrudge him that. It's just a bit of a shame that you kind of like, well, we did play you quite a lot when you were a bit shit for a while. You know, we kinked out a lot of the kinks, that you still have the kinks. So, you know, if I was the Lions, I would be trying to push it into a not threatening club. Go to Essendon. Go to Carlton or something.
And we know that Adelaide are a nightmare to deal with at the trade table, so there's that.
Well, they also know that we're a bit of a nightmare to go to the trade table with as well. So,
well, I don't think we're going to do the whole
send him to
walk to the. Yeah, we're not going to let anyone walk to the draft in this one. But
I would say if we let him walk to the draft, there would be a lot of teams that would actually want to pick him up, though. So I think that's a far more facetious and real threat than it was with Calamachi.
Well, I think at the end of the day, they're both free agents. It's just like if we match it, then it's forced to trade. I still don't really know exactly how all of that works, but being a free agent, they've got a bit more say in the matter. It's just like, okay, well, we're going to match it with Bailey. I don't know that. I think Neil would be an unrestricted free agent. So I don't know that we've got the power to do that potentially.
Neil's not super important, coming off a 37 disposal game.
He's been our best mid this year as well.
Yeah, which is kind of strange, but he mustn't have had a lot on in the off-season other than training.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Wouldn't have thought so. All right, let's go to a new game this week. Now, this is going to be a bit of yes-no reverse engineer the game. So, I
have no idea what that means.
So, how this is going to work, you're going to start naming random Brisbane Lions players, past, present, and I'm going to say yes or no. And based on those yes and no's, you have to guess the category that I'm thinking of.
So, it's like reverse 20 questions Jeopardy.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
So, I've got 3 categories ready to go, depending on how long this takes.
3 categories.
So we'll just see how this goes. You should start naming me Brisbane Lions players.
Jared Brennan.
No. I don't believe so, no.
Okay, I immediately didn't think to have like a bit of continuity about what I was going to think. Sam Sheldon.
No, I don't believe so.
Would you expect me to name more normal players?
Obviously.
Luke Power.
No.
Darryl White.
No.
Daniel Bradshaw.
No.
Dane Beams.
No.
Clay Beams.
No.
Dane Zorko.
No.
Daniel Merritt.
No.
Is the category ruckman?
No.
I'm very confused here. Brad Scott.
No.
Michael Voss.
No.
Matthew Leuenberger.
No.
Lockie Neal.
No.
Cam Rayner.
No, but can. No, but can.
The hell does that mean? No, but can.
Yeah, just keep naming players and I'll explain at the end.
Okay, fair enough. Jared Berry.
No.
Harris Andrews.
No.
Josh Walker.
No, definitely not.
Jesus Christ. I'm running out of players. McCluggage.
No.
Jared Lyons.
No.
Connor McKenna.
No.
What the fuck is going on?
It'll become obvious once you get like two of them. Maybe after you get one of them.
So I've got 0.5 of a 1.
Yeah.
Eric
and
Hipwood.
McKenna, yes.
Is it key forwards?
No.
No.
Because you had Bradshaw before.
Yeah, true, but I didn't know whether, you thought he was... Jonathan Brown.
No.
Joe Danaher.
Yes. Well, no, but yes. Yes. Yes.
Have you been and tested everyone's vertical leap or something?
No.
No. That's a no that I can get behind. So it's not players over 2 meters tall.
No.
Because maybe you're saying Cam Rayner can grow to that. Is it something to do with golf?
No.
Okay. So we've got Eric Hipwood, Joe Danaher, Oscar Allen.
No. There will be people listening right now that have probably got it.
Dan McStay.
Ooh. Yes, but no?
Yes, but no. This is very confusing.
Yes. Yes, Dan McStay.
Is it multiple goals in finals?
No. It's not that good.
Deep. So is it just forwards?
These all happen to be forwards, but that's not the category.
Do they all go to the same coffee shop or something?
It's not that deep.
I was going broader. Players who have been reported on a Tuesday and then found not guilty.
No.
No. Are there any more players in this category that would have been said yes to?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many more?
Plenty along the lines.
Josh Shackey.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Can I give up?
I mean, you can. No, actually, Shackey, yes. Shackey, yes.
Because none of this is making any sense given that Cam Rayner can, but the others are all gigantors that kick goals. Or Shackey didn't kick goals, but can kick goals.
Daniel Rich. Kitty Coleman.
Oh, they're all left-footers.
They're all left-footers.
Oh, Cam Rayner can't. Oh.
Yes, he can.
Yeah, in the same way that, I mean...
No, but he can.
Okay.
Do you want another one? Or have you had enough?
No, now that... Okay, that was really bad.
Let's go one more. I'm
trying to find where you slipped up, but I don't think that you did. Go. I have to do the thing. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Luke Power was a left footer.
I don't know that he was. I don't think so.
That was the key to all.
No, Luke Power, right-footed.
Yeah, but he also could. In a grand final, very importantly, against Essendon.
Yeah, true. Right, name me a player.
Shite. You've broken me, man. You've broken me.
You can
Dan
start
McStay,
again.
yeah. I'm not saying Dan McStay. I've just said Dan McStay. Yep.
No.
No. Steph Martin.
Yes.
Mitch Clark.
No.
Michael Voss.
No.
Travis Johnston.
No.
That's not players that played for Melbourne and the Lions. Got that one out of the way. Joel Patfull.
No.
You have to think about that.
I'm pretty confident no. Yeah, no. No.
Is it players higher than 195 centimetres?
No.
No. Okay, well, fair enough. Jonathan Brown.
Yes.
Is it right footers?
No.
Alistair Lynch.
Yes.
Is it players that are heavier than 100 kegs?
No. Nothing to do with height or weight.
Oh, that's very modern of you. But they're also big.
Yeah. This is
Marcus Adams.
Marcus Adams. No.
So it's not on the bench press. Jack Payne.
Jack Payne. No.
Big O.
No.
Okay, so we've got Brownie, Steph Martin, and Lynch.
Yes.
Did Lynchy ever get knocked out? Surely
Probably,
would have.
But not.
Is it all players that have been knocked out?
No.
My urge to kill is rising.
Fair shout. I'm sure everyone listening right now, it's the same situation for them.
Because there's no coherence here at all. There
it is. You've just got to think about the right stuff.
In a game surrounded by many different statistics, but we can't do weight, height. It's not being knocked out.
It's not statistics based. It's not height or weight, but it does loosely relate to appearance, maybe.
What, have they've all got brown hair?
No.
See, you could have done something interesting here and gone like brown, black, white, green.
Yeah.
Well, they're all colours.
Yeah.
But now you can't do that because I've seen right through you now. Sean O'Bree.
Shane O'Bree. Ooh.
Yeah, Shane O'Bree.
I don't believe so.
Sean Hart. Your mate from the servo.
Sean Hart. No.
Chris Scott, specifically.
No.
Craig McRae. Ugh.
No.
Riscatelli.
No.
Drummond. Sam Draper.
No.
Is everyone still pulling their teeth out?
Yes.
Is it at my ineptitude or is it at your ineptitude?
I think it's just about the fact that this game isn't going as swimmingly as it could have.
Okay. Can I have a clue?
Players currently on the list that fit into this category: Levi, Link, Zorko, Kitty, Cam Rayner, Logan Morris, Sam Marshall, and Dan Annabelle. And Tom Duday.
Wowee, that's not a... my pattern recognition is not tingling.
You add that with, who'd you say? Steph Martin, Alistair Lynch and Jonathan Brown. Luke Beacon also fits into this category, as does your mate Jared Lyons. As does everyone's mate Nick Mad Dog Robertson.
Are they all from, like, Perth or something?
No. But Jackson Pryor does fit into this.
How does Jack... How? I don't understand.
Jamie Charman, Jack Gunston, Simon Black, Jared Jansen, Mal Michael, Josh Walker, Brent Staker, Sam Day, Nakia Cockatoo, Jason Ackermanis.
Did they all play it? No, they didn't play it. Lynchy never played in a Q Clash. What the hell is going on?
Justin Sherman, Pierce Hanley.
Now
Matthew
you're just
Moody.
naming all the players now.
I'm naming a very specific set of players.
Are you sure that it's not players that are right-footed?
I'm sure because I'm sure because Simon Black fits into this one. And so does Kitty Coleman.
I know. It wasn't an actual guess. It was more just me being annoyed at you.
As does Daniel Rich.
I don't know the answer. I don't know the... Now you're just naming left-footed players.
Players that wear between 10 and 20.
Okay. You forgot Grant Birchall. If you'd said him, I would have got it.
That was the key, was it?
It was the key.
All right, well, that's a game that maybe workshops before it comes back.
Something got cut. Like...
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I used the questions to take the edge off the tipping to get annoyed by that. I really called that, didn't I? Jeez.
All right, well, our next game against the Tigers down in Tassie, which makes very little sense, but that's what's happening. Look, just win this game. Just win the game.
Sorry, I'm still hung up on players between 10 and 20.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shouldn't it be players between 9 and 21?
Inclusive 10 and 20.
You got to be... These are the sorts of things that are important to me.
Okay.
I wouldn't have got it, but... yeah, we just need to win the game and, not kind of balls it up a bit like we did last summer in Tasmania. I want more of like the 2018 go to Tasmania group. Go down to Hawthorn. Get the job done. Throwing darts over here. Get it done and like just have a bit of a break. Someone said a few weeks ago, like, are we just kind of hobbling our way to the bye? And it turned out that they were a bit correct. Who'd have thunk it? So, yes. We need to get the job done. Do Richmond have any threats?
I mean, Tom Lynch is still in that team.
Fate? Yeah, but he's pretty bad. And he hasn't been playing because he's been sick.
No. Maybe Nankervis is back. Maybe.
But Nankervis was never the best ruckman.
I know. I know.
Like, they're just... What are they? Mansell's pretty alright, I think.
Yeah, he's injured.
Good. They got belted by 114 points against Sydney last time out. Beautiful. Who else was in their team? Let's find out. Now, McKelpie, Lafau, Taranto, Grill, like Vloston still plays, and I'm sure he gets called Vlostone inexplicably. Broad, like, yeah, I mean, they're just holding on. Noah Bolter was playing in the ruck.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Like Trezise, I think's all right, but it's just there's nothing there that is warranting, like, watch out for him.
Yeah, no. They're bottom of the ladder, essentially, and they've got an injury list longer than ours, but perhaps, yeah, probably, if not the
longer
same.
Longer than ours, but less pronounced than ours. Or less relevant. But
yeah.
You just have to win each one-on-one matchup and win the game. You can win 15 out of the 18. I don't know. I think anything other than at least a 50-point win is going to be kind of a bit of a like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Sort out. Which I know is generally not a good state to be going into these games with, but like, yeah, this is as weak a team as I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Yeah,
and us really our team, last month. So yes, regardless of how bad things possibly could ever be, we got to win and win well.
Yeah, and then we'll be back to have a chat about that just in time for the bye and hopefully get a few more soldiers back.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll have like a game that will make me want to like blow my brains out with a rifle. So that'll be good.
I'll endeavour to not do that.
Okay, well, make sure when you're thinking of a new game, you watch the last game being played whilst you're thinking of the new game.
Yeah, as a stark reminder of what not to do.
Never would I have thought to say, bring back the wheel.
No, the wheel's been put out. It's in the giant wheel farm in the sky now.